Shalom, shalom. Hey, first and foremost, as always, I'd like to start off giving honor, glory, infinite praise and worship to our power. YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH. Double honors to our apostle, elder bishop, great millstone who will. Peace, salutation to the hopeful elect. All right, 144,000 and the rest of the large multitude of men, women, and children that YAHAWAH will have mercy on in these perilous times. Perilous meaning dangerous times that we're currently living in. All right, it's your brother Kadash. Like I said, representing Jim's branch here in Cleveland. Lord willing, it's edifying. Real quick, you know what I'm saying, just through the spirit, the title that the spirit gave me was what's it called? Things that are not rooted will be plucked up. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures often talk about how you know, the enemy will come in like a flood. Well, a flood, it uproots things, right? You think about a levee breaking. It takes everything in its path. It kills everything. It devours everything. Okay, so Esau, scriptures is referring to Esau as the dragon, which a serpent that grew into a bigger version of himself, which is now he's a dragon. So he's even more stronger. How is he stronger? He's stronger through his politics, his religion, or his doctrine, him conquering the whole world. At first, it was the known world. All right, but now he conquered the new world and the old world, so you can understand, meaning what? The north, meaning the west and the east. All right, the east being the old world and the west being the new. And now this dragon, his time is up. All right, we're getting ready to be kings, gods, lords, and priests on the earth. All right, and his time is coming to its end. Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. And the scripture, like it says, the devil know if he have a short time. Okay, so he's going to come with great wrath because he know if he have a short time. He said the enemy shall come in like a flood. A flood uproots things. Okay, but the Lord is see. This is how raw the Lord is. He's going to allow Esau to be that sword to recompense judgment upon 2/3, or to bring judgment upon 2/3. All right, and also destruction to himself. Esau created this the nuclear bomb, which Jake didn't. You know what I'm saying? Esau has his hand on the military and his face on the dollar, right? Jake don't. So Esau's weaponry, his blessing, is going to be used to bring him down. But the crazy thing about it is that, like it says in Isaiah, both he that hopeth shall fall. All those, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. So everybody that's joined with Esau and Babylon the Great is going to fall with it, man. Okay, so not only is this storm that's coming, all right, it's going to start, it started with the prophets, but Esau is about to bring the storm with the martial law, the MOTB, okay, the locking the system down. That's the storm. And and YAHAWASHI is going to bring the ultimate storm, which is the rain, the nuclear fire, which is the fiery rain, man. That's going to come from the heavens, just like he did in the first Egypt. Okay? And everything that is not rooted, right, is going to be plucked up. How do you be rooted? How is one able to be rooted? You're rooted in YAHAWASHI. Because we all know, you have to understand that the bigger trees are the ones, and the healthier trees are the ones that are next to water. Okay, they're constantly being cleansed. They're constantly nourished, man. All right, Lord willing, I could just do a lesson on that. That'd be interesting. Trees that are about water are the healthiest and are usually sometimes the biggest trees, man. You know what I'm saying? And their roots go deep into the ground. So us being let me start with here. Let's see. This is St. John chapter 15 and 1. I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away, and every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth, that he may bring forth more fruit. Now you are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can ye, except ye abide in me. I am the vine. This is Yahawashi speaking. Ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. Right. You're near to that water. The living water is Yahawah. Okay? For without me, you can do nothing. Right? Yahawah, an extension of Yahawah is the Holy Spirit, man. Taking the place of Yahawah. Constantly right now in this time, in modern time, in real time, right? Live right now as we speak, feeding us via the Holy Spirit, via the message that's the connector, the link that's connecting us to the heavens, connecting us directly to Yahweh Shai. The Holy Spirit is connecting us, man. Okay, and it's feeding us. He said, "I'm the bread, and he's the water, man." Okay, we're clean through Yahweh Shai Mashiach. Okay, we eat of him. Remember when it was at Passover? You eat the bread to remembrance of Yahweh Shai, right? Remembrance of Yahweh Shai, his body, his sacrifice, right? His resurrection, right? How the blood covers us, right? And because Yahweh Shai did what he did, it loosened the seals. He rose from the dead and defeated death. He sits on the right hand side of the Father, Yahweh, and by that, the seals was loosened. The understanding entered into us. The breath that entered into us. He's literally the bread, and he's the water. We drink of him. We eat of him. Okay, we eat this roll. We learn of him. Okay, and because of that, we grow into these wondrous and marvelous trees, man. Okay, so and that's how we get rooted. Everything that is not of Yahweh Shai is going to be plucked up. He's the living water. He's the nutrients that we need to actually survive the coming storm. Okay, and other trees, other trees protect other trees. Like bigger trees protect the trees under it. They got the bigger branches and the bigger leaves, and they take the brute of the storm first and heavier than the trees up underneath it, the smaller trees. You know what I'm saying? Yahushua is the biggest tree, and his branches, he's the vine, right? His branches, his leaves spread far, man, and we're right up under that. Okay. This is let me get this real quick. Man, what is it? Matthew 7. Bear with me, man. I think it's Matthew 7. It's Matthew 7. Yeah. Why do you have a Shemel Shai? This is Matthew 7. I'm not gonna be long. Matthew 7 and 24. Let me start at 16. Matthew 7 and 16. 15. Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves, right? Deceivers, filling their own bellies, not the mission. That they're not for the mission in Yahweh Shemel Shai. All right, his word, his wisdom, his message. This wisdom that we possess come from on high, man. It come from directly from Yahweh Shemel Shai, man. Men act like they came up with it on their own. Verse 16, ye should know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit, because the scriptures liken unto us. Let me get that real quick, just so I can show you. Yahweh Shai, he healed the man's eyes, and he asked the man a question. Okay. He asked the man his question. The scriptures is parabolic, symbolic, and literal. Okay, and you could go all throughout the Old Testament, New Testament, wherever you want to go, is in different various precepts and places. It often referred to us. Damn, man. Let's see. It often referred to us as bearing fruit. You know what I'm saying? It often referred to us, not referred to us. It often. Make sure I'm still alive, man. Bear with me. Okay. I'm still good. So the scriptures often uh talk about us bearing fruit like we just read, because we're likening it to trees. Now this is just a real quick one. This is Mark 8. Let me get it here. This is Mark 8. And let's start at now, man. It's like it. Why this shit just can't be simple? This is Mark 8. I want to jump up, but it's not letting me. All right, this is Mark 8 and 23, 21. And he said unto them, how is it that ye do not understand? And he cometh to Bethsaida, and they bring a blind man unto him, and besought him to touch him. And he took the blind man by the hand, and led him out of the town. And when he had spit on his eyes, and put his hands upon him, he asked him if he saw aught. And he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking. And after that he put his hands again upon his eyes, and made him look up, and he was restored, and saw every man clearly. Okay, so in a sense, he had little access to the spiritual essence, okay, of man, seeing men as trees. Okay, so we're like, that's why our veins go through our body like you do. We're likening it to you know, the trees, the vines, and the, you know, our veins resemble thunder, and we're all connected to the earth, man. Okay, so we bear fruit. Okay, so part of our fruit that we bear is our conduct, our structure, our image. All right, which whoever image you carry is what you portray. We carry the image of YAHAWASHI, his reputation, his name. So that comes with the things we speak. That's the fruit. You know what I'm saying? The message, the good things that we speak is the fruit. Okay, that makes one alive and heal, or it can also kill and destroy. That's how we will heal and restore back to our memory, by the word that we heard behind us. You see? It says, now jumping back to Matthew 7:18, a good tree cannot bring forth. I'm in 17 again. It's even so. So now you understand, men are trees. Okay? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Right? You are designed to be what you are. The elect is the elect, the 2/3 is the 2/3, the heathen are the heathen, Esau is Esau. You can't change it. Your spirit is created, all right, in the heavens. In the heavens, when things are created, it is considered good. There's no changing it. All right, it's going to appease the wrath of him that made him. Okay? Whether good or bad, everything has its respective order. So a good tree cannot bring forth corrupt fruit. So the good trees are going to be, like I said, next to that living water, which is YAHWASHI. Near unto that living water, which is YAHWASHI. And they're going to produce that fruit. They're going to produce the good fruit. They're going to do good things to keep life going. Which means what? They have to have deep roots. Okay? So that they can weather the storm to continue to produce life on earth. Isn't the whole nation going to come back through the loins of the elect? That means the elect were deeply rooted in YAHWASHI. Okay? They were completely nourished by YAHWASHI. He that follow me in the regeneration, right, as it says in Matthew 19, these same spirits follow YAHWASHI in every storm, man. They ate of and drunk of YAHWASHI in every storm. They weathered every storm that hit them. And those are likened to all the captivities. The Egyptian captivity, Babylonian captivity, Egyptian captivity, Assyrian captivity, whatever captivity, Esau's captivity, this current captivity. The elect weather every storm because they were deeply rooted in YAHWASHI. And the storm is not going to root the ones that are deeply rooted. You best to believe it. But the ones that are not deeply rooted, how do you be deeply rooted, like we've been saying? Through YAHWASHI, man. You're going to be plucked up. And we're about to read it. And we'll close out. Matthew 7, continuing. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. right? The Lord is coming to hewn you down, meaning to cut you off, to cut you down. And it starts with the one it starts with the one who's actually been nourishing you. All right, because you can be nourished, but it's just what type of nourishment. Is it good nourishment or is it bad nourishment? Nourishment is just mean, in a sense. Let me get the etymology of nourishment. Hold on, it went off. Okay, nourish. I spell nourishment. You got nurture. It should connect us to nurturing. There we go. Nurture. Let's see. All right, it says, damn, come on, man, just weird ass. All right, nurture. It says, oh my God, bro, Salakia, bro. It just, I don't know what happened, bro. It just erased. Let's go here to nurture. Okay, here we go. We're back. It says, it said nourish. It says in the etymology line, it says to supply with food and drink, feed, to bring up. Okay, so like you can have like you can okay, like cursed bushes can still grow. It's just that they're cursed, right? They have thorns and thistles. If I'm not mistaken, a rose is a cursed bush. But anywho, they're thorns and thistles. Like I can't think of anything right now, but you could think of a tree. Certain trees still grow. Like these YNs, they're still growing. Okay, they're just bad fruit. Like Esau's kingdom, it grew, it expanded, right? But it produced rotten fruit. It didn't have nothing that you can actually survive and live and continue life with, even though it grew. So you can have things that grow on the right hand side, you can have things that spread on the left hand side. Fungus and mold, those are things that kill and you know, those things grow though. So you can understand. So you can have nourishment either way. It just depends on what type of nourishment are you getting, what type of food are you eating, what type of drink are you receiving. Because it's supposed to, like it says, continue to promote the growth or development. A child, a young animal, a vice, a feeling. So it's supposed to promote growth, all right, and development. That's what it's supposed to do, okay? It says maintain, provide for, right? Foster, preserve, right? The Lord is nourishing us, all right? He's preserving us for the dangers to come. You know? So it says, Matthew 7:20, wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father, Yahawah, which is in heaven. Right? Because you got many people that's calling upon the name of the Lord. All right, you got people saying they this and doing that. Right? You got a lot of Israelites from One West. You got a lot of Israelites that know a form of the truth and even call on the names of YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, and they're still not gonna be saved, man. Okay, they wasn't properly nourished. They had leaven in their doctrine. Okay, you have to have sound doctrine, which means healthy or whole doctrine, not half doctrine. Okay, because if you're by the living water, it's impossible to receive half doctrine. You're going to have an unction from the Holy One, and you're going to know all things. That anointing that is placed on us is going to allow your fruit to blossom, and the ones that are worthy to eat of that fruit are going to eat of it, and they're going to grow, and they're going to stand and be preserved. Okay, that's that tree that's hidden in the back of the rainforest, man. You got to go deep into the rainforest, and you're gonna find this waterfall and this big beautiful tree full of colors and fruits, and that's that tree that's deep into the rainforest. Jake, they get caught up and they quit before they get to the end of the rainforest to find that good tree, the tree that nobody touches, that can't see. That's the wisdom that we possess. It's a secret. It's a gift, and it's deep into the rainforest. so you can understand. Jacob give up before they got to push that last bush back and now see the tree. They'd give up and turn around, man. Ah, it's not here. Oh, I'm tired of searching. You know, that's what Jacob said. They had stopped searching the rainforest. But look, Yahawah's in the back. He's that big tree in the back. But you got to go through the bushes. Cut down some trees. You know? Come on, man. Let's continue, man. Let's end this. It's as many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wondrous works? And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I would liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. The scriptures often refer to Yahawashi as the foundation, a sure foundation, that rock, that chief cornerstone. That's the first piece you lay when you build something. That's the rock we built upon. And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, so the big bad wolf won't blow the house down. And doeth them, it says, and everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon the sand. That's Esau's philosophies, his doctrines, this America, the way of living here, man. In the rain, you hear the words of the Lord. Yeah, you okay? That sounds good. Okay, just another pastor. They look at us like another Christian pastor, and they act like this is always going to be available and all that, right? And then they continue going to the world. That's building your house on the sand, man. All right? Lukewarm in the truth. That's building your house on sand. And the rain descended and the floods came. That flood is Esau, Edom, man. The enemy shall come in like a flood. It says, and the rain descended, right? What's the rain? His military, man, martial law, the MOTB, Jacob's trouble, the nuclear fire, man. And the floods came and the winds blew and beat upon it, right? That besom of destruction. And beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it, man. That's that second death. And it came to pass when Yahawashi had ended these sayings, that people were astonished at his doctrine, for he taught them as one having authority and not as the scribes, because he is the ultimate high priest, man. Okay? When you go to Matthew 15 and 13, it says, but he answered and said, every plant which my heavenly Father have not planted shall be rooted up. If you're not planted in Yahawashi, if you're not watered by Yahawashi, you're going to be rooted up, man. And you got to think about when you uproot something, it's violent. You take it, you dig in it, or you could pull it and then rip it apart. You rip it out, man. It wasn't, the roots rooted, it went into the ground, but it wasn't strong enough. The proper nourishment, the proper feeding is what allows those roots to be strong into the ground, man. This is Revelations 14 and 14. Let's see. Let's start at 14. It says, and I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon that white cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man. That's a chariot, the fathership, having on his head a golden crown, and his hand a sharp sickle, right? A sharp sickle. So I did a lesson on this a couple years ago. A sickle versus a sheath. Okay, I believe the sheath is what the Grim Reaper holds, and a sickle is what farmers hold. So you understand. Okay. So look. See that? One is at the bottom is a sickle, and at the top is a sheath. Okay? Yahawashi is the Grim Reaper. He's the angel of death that went through Egypt the first time and killed all the firstborn, man. They tell you that in Wisdom of Solomon, the 18th chapter, or this 18th chapter. Thy almighty word leaped down from heaven, from the royal throne, as a fierce man of war, into the land of destruction. Yahawashi, he uprooted them niggas, man. Okay, it says oh goodness, bro, it's like here. It says a sickle and a sheaf differ primarily in size, handle length, and how they are held. A sickle is a short one-handed tool with a deeply curved blade. A sheath is a large two-handed tool with a long pole and wide blade. And then you see, so it says let me put it in chat. Sheath, oh, goodness, bro. Sheath and a sickle similarities. A sheath and a sickle are very similar because they're both agricultural cutting tools designed to harvest plants, and that's what's coming. The harvest is ripe. It's time for plucking. It's time to feast. When the fruit and things are ripe, they're ready for plucking and picking to eat, to devour. Okay, so the Lord is getting ready to pluck things up. He's getting ready. The harvest is ripe, right? The earth, all right. This man's rulership, his kingdom is reached this peak. Now it's time to pluck it from the earth. Now it's time to have a feast. Now it's time to eat and to devour. The biggest difference are their size. But it says both similarities. Both have curved metal blades. Both are used to cut grass, grain, wheat, barley, and other crops. Both have been used for thousands of years in farming. Both rely on a pulling or sweeping cutting motion. A pulling is when you pluck something up, when you uproot it. So let's go back. Revelations 14:14. I just wanted to show that, Salakia. And I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud sat one set like unto the Son of Man, which is Yahawashi, having on his head a golden crown, right? That's his authority, right? And his hand a sharp sickle. Okay, that's the power, all right, to take life, man. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, which is the chariot, the fathership, thrust in thy sickle, that tool used to pluck and reap. For the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. It's time for the feast. It's time for the plucking. A marriage is getting ready to be had here, man. And then the ceremony comes after. And that's where the Lord Yahawashi, he's gonna crack open that wine that he ain't cracked over 2,000 years, and he gonna crack it afresh with you, like he said, out his own mouth. All right, he's gonna open that wine, and it's gonna be strong, and it's gonna taste good. All right, that's that special wine for a special occasion. It says, he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. Right, the Lord sent the plague. He sent what's the plague? The missile, the nuclear fire, which is also what's the other plague? The chariots, the concentrated laser beams from the chariots. Judgment. Revelation 19 chapter, and judgment and righteousness do he judge and make war. Another angel came out of the temple which is in heaven. He also having a sharp sickle, and not only Yahawashi, he's bringing Allah and the archangels are the head busters to behind him, man. And another angel, it's going to be an overkill on this place. And another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, thrust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of the Most High. That's the plucking, that's the uprooting. And the winepress was trodden down without the city, and blood came out of the wine press, just like when you're making wine, you stomp on it, you thresh it, okay? Even unto the horse bridles by the space of 1,600 furlongs, right? Oh, that's how hot, that's how much unalive and death is going to be here in America, man. You can read the same thing here. I think it's in Jeremiah 50. Let me see. It might be 51. I think it's 51. It's talking about the 33, Jeremiah 51:33. The water Yahawashi. For thus said Yahawashi, the power of armies, the power of Israel, the daughter of Babylon, which is America, is like a threshing floor. That's the wine press we just read. It is time to thresh her. You pounce on her. All the grapes that splatter up, it's time to be an overkill on her. Yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come. It's time to uproot the things that are not rooted in Yahawashi. The things that are not rooted will be plucked. That is what we're reading here. Right? You can see, you read Isaiah, talk about Yahawashi himself. He said it would be a sacrifice in Bozrah. This is Isaiah 6:3-1. Who is this that coming from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? Or the sheepfold. I believe that's what that goes into. This that is glorious in his apparel, Yahawashi. Edom is the chief. Edom, the chief tribe of Esau is the Amalekites, right? But they're all Edomites, and Esau's dwelling place is America. Traveling, he carved his face in the mountains and put his face on a dollar bill and all this other shit. Traveling in the greatness of his strength, Yahawashi. I that speak in righteous, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thy apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat. I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I would tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury. And their blood should be sprinkled upon my garments, and I would stain all my raiment. Not literally, that's figuratively. That's how much unaliveness is going to be. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. You see? So you see how it's linking up. And showing you, I'm gonna just close with let me get two more. Wisdom of Solomon 4. This is Wisdom of Solomon 4:1. Better is it to have no, it's like it. Let's jump down 3. But the multiplying brood of the ungodly shall not thrive, nor take deep rooting from bastard slips, nor lay any fast foundation. The multiplying brood is his offspring. So the Lord is saying that his offspring of the offspring of the ungodly shall not thrive. It's not going to take deep rooting, right? Because it's not properly nourished. It's not fed by Yahawashi, all right, on the right-hand side. So eventually it has an expiration date on it, which means, because we just read nourish, it means to preserve. So he's not preserved from danger. He's going to bring the danger. He's used as the instrument to destroy himself and the things that are not of Yahawashi. He's not preserved and reserved unto salvation and reserved from judgment. He's about to receive his judgment. Only the elect of Yahawashi is going to be preserved from said judgments, man. So, but the multiplying brood, his offspring of the ungodly, shall not thrive, nor take deep rooting from bastard slips, nor lay any fast foundation. He's not built upon that sturdy foundation, Yahawashi. For though they flourish in branches for a time, right? They had a little moment. It said in Revelations 20, he was loosed for a little season. This is his little time, right? And he had his little branches spread out. You see, like, okay, with the, right? Yet standing not last, they shall be shaken with the wind. It looked good. But that wind, when it comes, is going to shake the shit out of him, man. And it started when the prophet stood upon their feet. It said a shaking. And their bones, it was a shaking, and their bones came together. You see, it was a shaking in the earth, man. All right, they fell for fear. All right, they fear. It was fear that fell upon them when we stood upon our feet, man. A exceeding great army. The fear fell upon them. That was that shaking. It started with that first. You know, you got certain hurricanes, certain tornadoes that are smaller, right, than the bigger ones, but they still do damage. They still unalive. And that's kind of like that first storm, if you will. That shaking of his, he had to grab hold of something and realize he had to take this serious, man. Okay, and then as we grew, the truth it spread abroad, okay? And then it's going to end with Yahawashi in the physical, in the present time, man. All right, in the real time. Right? It says they shall be shaken with the wind. That's the ICBM missiles. And through the force of winds, they should be rooted out. That was ultimately going to put the cherry on top is the nuclear missiles and the concentrated laser beams, man. That's what's going to finalize this man's uprooting, man. And Yahawashi spirit is going to be in those missiles, man. They're not going to miss the target. The imperfect branches, because he had imperfect branches. He had corrupt fruit. It didn't give life. You hear it when Jake went to his tree, bit his fruit, but they got fool's poison and they got stomach virus and parasites into their tomb, and they started to take over their body, and they started to become vampires, and all type of shit happened when Jake ate all their fruit, man. Their philosophies and doctrine has destroyed our people, man. The imperfect branches should be broken off, their fruit unprofitable, not ripe to eat, yet meat for nothing. For children begotten of unlawful bears are witnesses of wickedness against their parents in their trial. So their sentencing is coming up. Their sentencing is coming up. So we just gotta be patient. Let's close with this. Damn, was it? Hold up. Second Esdras. Okay, yeah, second Esdras 5. I started at the top. Second Esdras 5 and 1. Nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden. Right. That's that preserving. That's that nurturing. They're gonna be, the elect gonna be preserved because they, they were nurtured properly. All right, and they're gonna be taken from off the scene, and the truth is gonna be hidden. You can read that also later down in this chapter, talk about which shall hide itself, meaning understanding should go into a secret chamber, and that's the mind. The elect is gonna have all that wisdom possessed in their mind, and they're not gonna be commanded to give it to the public freely no more. Time is out, and the land should be barren of faith. That's why it's gonna be no faith and no hope on the earth, man, for the ones that's on the outside. But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, nor or that thou hast heard long ago. Right, sin upon sin, death and destruction is going to increase way more than the ancient world. It said like never before, a time like never before. Verse 3, in the land which thou seest now to have root, shall thou see wasted suddenly. And there you have it. The things that are not rooted, the things that are not rooted will be plucked up. And the only way to be actually rooted is in YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, HAMASHIach, YAHAWASHI, man. The anointed, the Messiah, the King of Kings, Lord of Lords. You have to be in him, and you have to be the chosen. All right? And that's how it comes. And that's how it is, man. That's the breakdown. Okay? So, Lord willing, this quick lesson was edifying. I'd like to give all honor and glory, infinite praise, and worship to our power. Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, HAQADASH. Double honors to our apostle, Elder Bishop Great Millstone, who will. Peace, salutation, hope for elect. All right. The water for the brothers and sisters that tuned in tonight. Till next time, Baba Ball, Shalom.